Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Om Agyantimirandasya, Gna Gna Shalakaya, Чакшурмилита Минатасмай Шигурове Намаха, Шичитанимнобистам, Стъпите на Бутале, Свърпакадамахям, Дедати Свападантикам, Вантехам Шигуру Шюта Падакамала, Шигуру Вишнавамща, Ширупам Съгръщам Сагнарагунатан, Витам там Садживам, Съдвайтам Савдут на Париджана, Схитам Кришна Читания Дейвам, Ширада Кришна Падан Схаганалита Шивишакан, Витамща. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantarada Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishapanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Gopinatha Jaya Radha Gokulananda Jaya Radha Shyama Jaya Radha Gopinatha Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Gokulananda Jaya Radhe Shri Radhe Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Radha
Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare. Now I will continue to read from Bhagavat-Gita. I will continue with the chapter 9. This is not these are not all the verses of Bhagavat-Gita, but they are selected from a Maharaj, and um, they represent Bhagavad-Gita very nicely. Of course, every verse of Bhagavad-Gita is important, no doubt, but these verses really represent the main message of the book, the main message of Bhagavad-Gita. The next verse selected is 9:2, verse 9, chapter 9, verse 2.
Rajavidya Rajaguha
Pavitra Medamutama
Pratyakshavaghamandharmya
Sutsukam Kartumavyaya. Translation. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting, and it is joyfully performed, says Lord Krishna to Arjuna. Actually, as you all know, all the soldiers there in Kurukshetra before the battle. They are there and they are listening to Krishna, not only Arjuna, but all the other soldiers from both sides. They all listen to the instructions of Lord Krishna. Okay, now the next two verses, 9:3 and 9:4.
Ashradadana Purusha
Dharmasya parantapa
Aprabhyamam Nivartante
Pratyu samsara vartmani
Maya Tatamida Sarva Jagadavyaktamurtina Matstahani Sarva Bhutani Nachata Savastita.
Translation. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies, says Lord Krishna. Therefore they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. And the next verse 9:4. By me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. The next two verses 9:5 and 9:10. Chapter 9, verses 5 and 10.
Nacha Matstani Bhutani
Pashyame yogamashvara
Vara Bhutavrina Chabutasto
mahatma bhuta bhavana
Mayadvakshena Prakriti Suyata Sacharatyara Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagaviparevartate.
Translation. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence, although I am the maintainer of all living entities. And although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation, says Lord Krishna. Myself is the very source of creation, says Lord Krishna. The next verse 9:10. Translation. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. So this material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. The next two, 9:11 and 9:12. Chapter 9, verses 11 and 12.
Avajananti mamoda manusham tanumashrita parambhava ajananta
Mama Bhuttamaheshwaram
moga moga karmana moga ganavachita शशिमाशुरीं चैव प्रकृतिमोहिं श्रितः.
Translation. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by and demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. Okay, the next two, 9:13 and 9:14.
Mahamanas tumam parta Devim prakriti mashrita Bhajanti hananya manasu Gyatva buddhanama vyayaya Satata kitaya Dhamma yatandasya Namasyantas Shamabhaktya Nityayukta Upashate.
Translation. Verses 9:13 and 9:14. O son of Purta, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible, always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So let us see. Many others are there. Oh. So I will not. Just a moment. The next two, 9:15 and 9:22. No, 9:15 is the next one. 9:15, verse 9. Sorry, chapter 9, verse 15.
Jnanayagnena kapi anye jayanto mamupashate ekatvena prakritva nabhuda vishwatomukam.
Others, who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge, worship the Supreme Lord as the One without a second, as diverse in many, and in the universal form. The next one, 9:22. Chapter 9, verse 22.
Ananyascintayanto mam ye janah purya pasate tesham nityamuktanam yogakshemam vahamiyam.
Translation. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. The next two, 9:23 and 9:24.
Ye piya devata bhaktaya jante shadaya vida pepe mahabhava kanteya jayantiya vide purvaka aham hi sarvaya gnana bhukta cha prabhu Hivacha nato mama vijanante tatvenatas chavanti te.
Translation of the verses 923 and 924. Those who are devoted to other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti. But they do so in a wrong way. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. The next two, 925 and 926.
Yanti deva vrata devan pitra yanti pitrata bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyatma bhima patram pushpam phalam tuya yume bhaktya प्रयच्छति ततः भक्ति उपहृतम् अस्नामि प्रयतत्मनः.
Translation. Those who worship, translation of verses 25 and 26 of chapter 9. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me, says Lord Krishna. And further, he says, if one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Okay. Uh, the next two verses, 927 and 929.
Yatkaroshi yadasnashi yadjuhoshi dadasi yad yatapasyasi kaunteya tatkurushva matarpanam samam sarvabhuteshu namedvesyosti na priya ye banchati tumam bhaktya maiteshu kapiyaham.
Verses 27 and 29 of chapter 9. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Okay. Uh, Okay, the next ones are 9:30 and 9:31.
Apichatsudurataro bhajate mam ananyabhak sadureva samantavya samyapyavasito hisa Kshiprambhavati dharmatma sasvechatani gacchati kanteya pratijani name vakta pranashyati.
Translation of verses 30 and 31 from chapter 9 of Bhagavad-Gita. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if this person is engaged in devotional service, he or she is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So, okay. The next two verses, which Maharaj have selected as the last ones from verse 9, are 9:32 and 9:34.
Mam hi partha vyapashritya vipisyu papa yomaya striyo vaishyas tata shudras tipiyanti parangati manabhava madbhakta Matyajime namaskuru mamevasya yukta vaiva atmanamat parayana.
Translation of verses 32 and 34 from chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita. O son of Partha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, Vaishyas Shudras, can attain the supreme destination. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me, being completely absorbed in me. Surely you will come to me. You see how beautiful it is said here. Being completely absorbed in Krishna, surely one will come to Krishna. Okay? Uh, in this way, uh, the next time I will continue with chapter 10. Yes, so in this way it is we have come to the end of chapter 9 from those verses who were selected from Maharaj from chapter 9. Okay, and the next time I will continue with verse 10. Okay, uh, and now I would like to read again from the book Shishikshastakam from Shilnarayan Maharaj, where are commentaries from I have reached the commentaries of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura on verse 2 of Shri Shikshastakam, and I will continue to read them. At present, because the living entity remains covered by the impurities of the three paths cited above. Oh, yes, three paths. Does he wants to see? Oh, just a moment. I will just continue to read. Okay, at present, because the living entity remains covered by the impurities of the three paths cited above, his good fortune is severely impaired. Sometimes the jiva, the soul, remains busy in the pursuit of threefold material happiness, namely religiosity, dharma, accumulation of wealth, artha, and sense enjoyment, kama, sometimes being disgraced by irreligiosity, personal defects, and unsatisfied material desires. The jiva takes up the chanting of the holy name because he or she is infested with the 10 offenses. He or she commits still more offenses to the name. At that time, the name he chants is not pure holy name, Shuddha Nama, but the name chanted with offenses, Nama Aparada. Sometimes being harassed by his restless state, he avoids material sense gratification, hoping to obtain peace. For his welfare, he takes up the chanting of the holy name, but remains indifferent towards the cultivation of Sambandha Jnana. At that time also, the name that he chants is not the pure name, but Nama Abbas, a semblance of the holy name. Semblance of the holy name. By chanting in the stage of Nama Abbas, he becomes liberated from the materialistic conception of life and becomes eligible to take up the service of the Lord. Pure devotees, having rid themselves of misfortune in the shape of mundane existence and impersonal liberation, chant the pure holy name of the Lord. Consequently, they attain unalloyed love for Krishna. Krishna Prema. Okay, the next time I will continue to read from the commentaries of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura on the second verse of Shri Shikshastakam. So we see how here it is explained. It was explained. Sorry, it was explained how the devotees are trying to chant um, after being in not so nice conditions. Then one has the desire to chant the names of God, begins to chant, but one cannot just immediately start to chant Shuddha Nama, the pure holy name, but one chants with offenses. Still, of course, one have to continue to chant, to say, to repeat, to sing the names of God. Yes, okay. And as we heard from Bhagavat-Gita some minutes ago, in verse 3, in verse 934, It is said, then, being completely absorbed in Krishna, surely the soul will come to Krishna. And who is absorbed actually in Krishna? Who is absorbed in the Lord? The pure devotees. They are absorbed in the Lord. Their mood, their crying in separation from the Lord, is expressed and described in every verse of Shri Shikshastaka. Sorry. For example, in verse 7, Yugaitam Nimeshna, Chakshusha Parvashaitam, Shunaitam Jagatsarvam, Govinda Virahename. Gaitam Nimeshna, Chakshusha Parvashaitam, Shunaitam Jagatsarvam, Govinda Virahename. O Govinda, in separation from you, Govinda Virahename. Yugaitam Nimeshna, even a short period of time seems to be even a short period of time seems to be a yuga, a millennium. Chakshusha Pravashaitam. Tears are flowing from my eyes like rain from monsoon clouds. Shnaitam Jagat Sarvam. The whole universe seems to be empty, void. Govinda Virahename. In separation from you, O Govinda. When I feel separation from you, O Govinda, O Lord. In every verse of Sri Shikshastaka, the mood of a pure devotee is expressed. And as we know that the topmost pure devotee is Srimati Radhika, which is stated in verse 10 of Sri Upadeshamrita of Srila Rupa Goswami. In every verse of Sri Shikshastaka is also expressed the love of Srimati Radhika to Krishna, the highest love in all the worlds, Modanakya Mahabhav. And this is expressed also very nicely, especially in verses 7 and 8. We heard now verse 7 how nicely the love of Shrimati Radhika to Shri Krishna is expressed, and at the same time the love also of the other pure devotees. Of course, the love of Shrimati Radhika is higher than the love of the other pure devotees to Krishna. But still, also, the love of the other pure devotees is expressed in Shri Shikshastaka in every verse. And the mood of Srimati Radhika and the gopis is especially expressed in verses 7 and 8. Verse 7, we have just heard verse 7, and now verse 8. Ашишва Padartam Pinashtumam, Adarshna Marmachtam Karotva, Yatata Tava Vidata Lampato, Matprananata Stusa Eva Naparaha. Shishva Padartam Pinashtumam, Adarshna Marmachtam Karotva, Yatata Tava Vidata Lampato, Matprananata Stusa Eva Naparaha. O my Lord, you are my Prananat, you are the Lord of my prana, the Lord of my living heirs. And you will always remain my only Lord. You can do whatever you want, O Lord. Шишва Padartam Pitashtumam, Dashnam Marmachtam Kurotva. You can make me the most happiest person with an embrace when you embrace me, O Lord, or you can break my heart by not being present in front of me. Um, Adarshna, when I cannot see you, when I I'm not when you're not in front of my eyes. Yatadata vavidata lampato. But let us see. Yes. Yatadata vavidata lampato. Um, but you can do whatever you want, O Lord. Mat prananatas tu sa eva na praha. You are my prananat, you are the Lord of my living heirs, you are the Lord of my prana, you are my prananat, you are the Lord of my life, and you will always remain my only Lord. We see how beautifully this expressed the love of Srimati Radhika to Shri Krishna and also the love of the other gopis to Krishna. Of course, the love of Srimati Radhika is the highest, Madhunakya Mahabhav. She is the topmost pure devotee. Srimati Radhika is the topmost pure devotee. She is on the first place in the heart of Krishna. So we see um, how this beautiful love is expressed here, especially in verses 7 and 8. Also, the love of the other pure devotees, um, of the other gopis, and of the other pure devotees is expressed there. So, in this way, we see how when we heard from Bhagavat-Gita, from verse 934, that this person who is completely absorbed in Krishna surely will come to Krishna. This is, of course, uh, this is said here before in front of all the soldiers. It is said in Arjuna to Arjuna. It is said to Arjuna from Krishna. Krishna says this to Arjuna, and also all the other soldiers on the Kurukshetra field before the battle. They hear also this, and he's explaining to them these truths, this truth. But who is the person? Who are the persons who really understand this and know this? These are not the soldiers. These are the pure devotees. Shrimati Radhika, the gopis, and the other pure devotees, like for example Narada Muni, like Srila Prabhupada, like the Guru Srila Prabhupada, Diksha Guru Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, like the father of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, and other pure devotees. They are the persons who are completely absorbed in Krishna, and they come to Krishna. Of course, everybody else, as Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, everybody else can come to Krishna. Because as we heard, Krishna is not, he's not, He is not envious to anybody. He's actually equal to everyone. But those who are devotees of the Lord, they naturally are um, naturally have a higher position in the heart of Krishna. Naturally, they have higher position in the heart of Krishna, and the highest position is of in the heart of Krishna is of Srimati Radhika. Because Srimati Radhika loves Krishna more than everybody else, with the highest love in all the worlds, Madanakya Mahabhava, and Krishna loves Radhika, Srimati Radhika, more than everybody else, and in this way, Srimati Radhika is on the first place in the heart of Krishna. So, thank you so much for your attention. I will come to an end now.
Namaste Narasimhaya Praladalahine Hiranyakashipu Vaksha Shilatankanakaraya Itondrishiho Paratondrishiho Yato yato yame Tatondrishiho Bahinishiho Hridayanishiho Nrishimha Mahe Charanyam Prapaya
Tava kara kamalavara
Nakamabuddha Shringa Talita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa
Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare
Shri Nishimha Jan Rishimha Jaya Jan Rishimha Dev Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Vriha Shri Nishimha Jan Rishimha Jaya Jan Rishimha Dev Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Vriha Shri Nishimha Jan Rishimha Jaya Jan Rishimha Dev Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Vriha Shini Shima Janri Shima Jaya Janri Shima Dev Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Vrihi. So, as you all know, when I try to say something on Vedic literature, I'm not trying to instruct anybody because I'm not qualified. I'm not, as you all know, I'm not qualified on such topics like Vedic literature. So I'm not trying to instruct anybody. I'm just only trying to understand it. Of course, one have to try to understand the Vedic literature under the guidance of teachers, under the guidance of Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus. All of you who are Vaishnavas, who are devotees, you're all my teachers, you're all my gurus. I pay obeisances to you. Dandavat Pranam. Vanchakalpatarupascha, Kripasndhupevcha, Patitnam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you so much for your attention.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Gaura Jaya Gaura Jaya Gaura Jaya Shri Shri Gaura Jaya Gaura Jaya Gaura Jaya Gaura Jaya Shri Shri Gaura Jaya Radhe 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 Radha Gopinath Radha Madhava Jai Shri Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Radha Gopinath Radha Madhava Gurudev Jai 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 Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you so much for your attention. Hare Krishna.